Hello, everyone. I had some technical issues with YouTube. They basically updated my app recently, so I had to fix some things. So, starting off kind of rough here, trying to power up the stabilizer. So, how's everybody doing? What's up, Ahmad? All right, let's see if I can get the stabilizer to work. There we go. Ray, Fidel, Fish Room Fever, Jack. Sorry about being late, guys. I actually pulled back into the farm at 11:59. Ran in there, grabbed the stabilizer. So, and then I went to turn on my YouTube and just go live. Usually the button's right there, and I had to find it because YouTube updated their app, and now you gotta, it's kind of hidden now. But hope everybody's doing good. Looks like my screen is a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully. It's just the lens is a little bit dirty, so I'm gonna flip this around, see what it looks like. Yeah, a lot better on that end. I think it's my back screen might have something on it. The camera lens. All right, wipe that off a little bit. All right, guys. I know I haven't been live in a couple weeks. That's just because we've been really busy. So I'm just gonna walk you around the warehouse. I know Drayden did another giveaway this past week for. Everyone, so we're going to be announcing the winner. There was two $25 gift codes. I think it was you had to share the post, I think, on Facebook. I'm not sure the exact details. Like I said, I'll let Drayden's been setting that up. So we'll go in there in a minute and we'll watch Drayden pick the winners. Dragon Layer's on. What's up, Cat? Cat's on. Blitz Peacock's on. Vicky. Bear Cichlids, Lynn. Yeah, we're having good weather down here in Florida. It's like not too hot, not too cold. We did have a little bit of that hurricane that came through. I mean, what a crazy year it's been. I mean, who would have thought a hurricane in November? That's like really late in the year. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. I think it was a Category 1 when it came through Tampa. They did get a lot of rain in Tampa. I think they got like 8 inches. Some of my friends over there that breed fish, and but they said it could have been a lot worse, so they weren't affected too bad about it. But it was still unexpected this time of year to be getting a hurricane. So we're been really busy. The fish have been doing really well. Everybody's been real happy. We don't have the lights turned on this section yet. I'm hoping this weekend. The electrician is going to come out and wire up these lights. So the lights are in place, but like I said, they don't have power yet. So that added 66 more tanks off the top of my head. So we're super excited about having even more space for more fish. And the good news is that we were able to bring in a new shipment, and I know Jacob and Drayden's been posting up some videos and pictures of some of the new fish that we brought in. And these Eureka Reds are on fire. So we're going to walk through. I'm going to show you the fish. We got a shipment of wild caught from Colombia, and we got some really cool fish in on that order. So I'm super stoked about finally being able to bring in some new fish. So, wild caught are, for me, for breeding purposes, exciting because it opens up us a lot more opportunities to breed fish that are currently not, easily available in the hobby. So everybody say hello to Sarah. She's the one that's been taking care of them, and they're doing great. So we're super excited. She's got the arowanas up here feeding right now. And what's good about that is typically they only really go for live food, especially when they're young. But she's already got them eating some pellets, so that's huge. So because a lot of times when you get the arowanas, you have to get live food or frozen foods, and it makes it more difficult. You can see some of them still have their egg sacs, which is also pretty cool. They carry their egg sacs for a long time, but what we're going to do is we're already selling some of these guys, and we'll just hold on to the ones that are still absorbing their egg sacs. So that's exciting. You can see some more of them up here. I don't know how well they look on the camera with those guys only hanging up top. If you do buy an arowana, please make sure that you've got an adequate tank for them, because they get very big. So you really need to make sure that you got a suitable tank for those guys. You know, you could have them in a smaller tank when they're small, you know, like a 55 when they're 3 inches, but know that within 6 months that fish is going to outgrow that tank. So you really need minimum, I would say, of 125, and that's very minimum, you know. So oh, those were the green neons. So really nice Tetra, you know, very similar to the cardinal Tetras and the red and blue neon Tetras. So I know a lot of the planted tank people really like the green neons. They seem to stay smaller and they have really nice color. Also, we got some rummy nose Tetras in. Really excited about those guys. So yeah, I mean, we're just excited that we've got tank space to be starting to bring in this stuff. We've got 2 tanks of the rummy nose. So just so you know, we brought this shipment in over a week ago, and we've had them in quarantine since the day that they came in. So like unfortunately, a lot of, you know, people in this business will bring in wild caught fish, and the next day they're selling them, and to us that's a very bad because these fish, they need to recover from the shipping, and you need to get them eating and fattened up before you start selling them. So that's what we're doing. There's still going to be some that will not be ready quite yet, you know, because we're still conditioning them and they're still in quarantine. But a lot of them are ready to go, so we're already putting them up on the website. Hopefully these guys don't swim off. These are wild caught rams. So basically the Ramirez, this is where the German blue ram was, the line was created from by line breeding it. So they're very similar to the German blue rams. And the colors on them, like especially when they first came in, were just spectacular. And then they go through, of course, a transition period of recovering from the shipping, and they're starting to get their colors back. But these guys will fire up with great color, just like a German blue ram. Let's see if I can get these guys on camera. They might be too shy. Yeah, they're all hiding. There's one right there, but that's the L201 snowball plico. That's a hypensistrius. And you know, when we post these things up, you know, we're wanting to put as much info as we can on them, but it is, you know, everybody's responsibility, especially when you get a new fish, is to make sure that you do the research. Like, you know, just because it's a plico doesn't mean that it's an algae eater. So you don't buy a hypensistrius L201 to clean algae, because they're not algae eaters. They're actually meat eaters. So you know, make sure, you know, don't put none of these fish in with African cichlids. Not that it's, you know, impossible for them to survive. It's just not proper water parameters, and the Africans will eventually attack them and kill them. So yeah, make sure you do your research on any of these fish, especially the wild caught, because you want to get their diet right. You want to get the water parameters right. So you want them to live a long, healthy life in your tank. So right here we've got some clown plicos. See if I can tilt the camera. I'm gonna actually lift up the driftwood on these guys. And sorry guys, I can't see the comments right now, but I'll come back and answer some of those if you got questions. So these are really nice fish. I really like these guys. They're fairly inexpensive for wild caught, and they are really good tank cleaners. So they do an excellent job if you've got a planted tank, these guys are really nice cleaners. I don't know how well they're showing up on the camera, but let's see if I get a little closer. But all these fish, when we bring them in, we made sure we had some nice wood for them to feed on, and then we also wormed everything, with a dewormer, and we did, prophylactic treatments, so the fish are in really good shape. This is a nice one. This is the Croesus filamentosus, and it's like a little dwarf cichlid, and they're not showing, like crazy colors right now, but they do have some crazy beautiful colors. The males will get a lot of red on them throughout their body whenever they're, in breeding dress. Of course, we're probably not going to get that kind of coloration here unless we, cut the quantities back in the tank and turn the temperatures up. So another popular one is the Autosynclus. This is the Autosynclus Arnaldi. So another great planted tank fish. Nano, stays really small, excellent algae eater, so they do a great job cleaning the tanks. These guys do best in groups of, I would say a minimum of 3, but if you could get 5 or 6 of these and put them in a community tank, they're going to be really, really cool to watch, and they're great tank cleaners, and they stay small. So this is a great nano fish, and these typically are very delicate when we first get them in, and then we have to condition them. And I've been really happy with Sarah taking care of these. We've had very few that were casualties, so they've done really, really well. All right, next is the blue Eye Plico, and these guys are really, really shy, but they're really, really rare. This is the Pinaki satani, and let's see if I can get them. So the cool thing about these guys is that a few years ago, I would say, I'm not being very precise with my dates, but I would say about 5 years ago that this fish was thought to be extinct from the wild. All right, so, and there was an area in Colombia that a river that they collected on, and there was a chemical spill from a manufacturing plant that poisoned the river. So there was a huge fish die-off, and the sad news is that it negatively impacted a lot of the nature in that river system. But since then, they have found them in other parts of Colombia. So that's the thing I want to make sure people know about the wild caught, is that there's plenty of them out there. It's sustainable fishing. It's giving the native people in these areas a opportunity to make a living, right, without negatively impacting the environment. So instead of cutting down trees and everything else, these locals are wanting to have a sustainable fisheries. So it's there's a group called Project Arapaima. I think it's Project Arapaima that has actually done a lot of research on this, and they're helping promote jobs in South America for sustainability. So and it's to educate the consumers and the people in the U.S. About these fish and the dangers that they face from mankind. So this is another favorite of mine. This is the Royal Plicos, and I'm pretty sure these are actually up on the site because they came in really, really well. This is an actual tank cleaner. They're a herbivore that does a really good job cleaning the tanks. Really cool fish. I've always loved these guys. So they're doing really well. So those guys are, I believe, already up on the website. Make sure I'm not passing any. This is the L129s. This is a Hypencystrius. So these guys are not algae cleaners. These are going to be meat eaters, but they stay really small and they've got really spectacular markings on them. So one of my favorite Hypencystrius species, because they have really nice markings on them, and they stay small. So really, really good fish. I really like these guys a lot. So what's nice is we're pulling out groups of these guys for breeders. So we're also going to be doing some breeding projects on them. So this is the common name would be the redfin Corydoras, which is much easier to pronounce than the scientific name. There's the name of them. Now these guys get big. I don't know the exact size, but I mean, I'm guessing 6 inches, 8 inches. Drayden would probably know better. This is the first time I've ever seen these guys in person. I've tried to order them, years ago, but it's one that, is a little bit more difficult for the fishermen to catch. So if you've got a big tank that you're looking for, nice schooling fish that gets large, then these guys are really nice, So I'm going to go through these guys a little bit quicker. The rest of the tanks, we got a lot of fish in, so I want to try to show you all the Colombian fish that we just recently brought in. These are the rubber Lip Plecos. This is a great algae cleaner, so tank cleaner. So if you're looking for something in a community tank that stays small, then I think these guys are an excellent choice. And they're not very expensive to compare to other L numbers or L Plicos from South America. We brought in some wild-caught angels. These are Melii, I think is what they're calling them. So really nice markings on these guys. Nice dark black bands on them. So if you're looking for some wild-caught angels, I think these are really, really nice, and they've been doing great since we brought them in. No issues at all. So we got these, and I've wanted these guys for a long time. This is definitely going to be a breeding project fish for us. These are wild-caught red tiger Severums, Heroes Carar, and they're at a small size, they look great, but when they get big, you see just all types of red and turquoise colors come out on them. If you want, you could probably just Google tiger Severum and look at pictures of adults. This is a relatively new fish to the hobby. I mean, as far as that goes, I would say about 5 years ago is when they first started catching them. So they went to, they're going to new parts of the Amazon and discovering new fish, and this is one of them that they started bringing out. And there are actually a lot of breeding projects going on with this fish, because it's just a spectacular looking Severum. We really, really like them. So excited about having those guys in. We brought in some Peacock Bass, and these guys came in really, really well. This is the Cicla intermedia, and when they're small, they all kind of look the same, but when they get big, it's just a really nice Peacock Bass. This is another tank buster, so make sure you've got plans of either having a big tank ready for them, or in the future having a big tank ready for them. So you really need these guys to be in a big tank. So but really cool. I really like the Peacock Bass, one of my favorites. These guys are still in quarantine, but I'm going to show them to you because they're looking a lot better. This is the Santa Perka Daemons. So it's a Jurapari type, and they came in, a little bit rough. We had some fungal issues, but that's why you see the water being dark like that. We've got a lot of tannins in the water to help them recover. But really nice. It's like in the geo you know, type family. I'd say it's like a cousin to the Geo, so very similar sand shifter that, you know, really nice. Hopefully those will be ready pretty soon. We got some green or blue phantoms. I already showed you the green phantoms. And these guys came in really nice. So they're doing really, really well. So this is the L128s and another great algae cleaner. They're just great tank cleaners. It's called the Blue Phantom. It's similar to the Green Phantom. It's just a different color form. We brought in some wild Geophagus weinmilleri. I'm really excited about that because we're going to bring some of these, you know, into our breeding program to, you know, to help, you know, boost our genetics wise, because the Geophagus weinmilleri we have now has been, you know, probably 8 years, you know, going, that we've been breeding it. So it'll be nice to get some wild bloodline, you know, into our genetics. So so we're growing off a group of these guys to for future breeders, and the rest of them will be for sale. So as you can see, got a lot of new fish in. We're super excited. This is our first import order that we've been able to bring in. It's been very difficult to bring in fish because of this COVID mess that we've been in. So super excited that we were able to finally get an order in. Actually have the tank space for them, and like I said, they're liking the environment really well that we created for them. So we're going to be putting those guys up online. Oh, there's a couple more tanks that we brought in. So let me flip the screen. I didn't show you the Corys, so let me go show you the Corydoras that we brought in. We had to put a few of them over here on this side. So these are wild Julie Corys. So Julies are, you know, one of the more popular Corys in the hobby. They've always been a little bit more difficult to find tank raised ones of. So it was nice to get some wild Julies in. So so if you're looking for some Corys for some bottom cleaners, these guys are really, really nice. They've been very healthy since we brought them in. So they're doing really well. These are not wild caught, but these are some of the some Spilums, and they're really starting to color up nice. So I'm super excited about those. This is the Corydoras Molini, and they look really nice. I really like the black bar that goes across their back. So if you're you know, this is another option for the Corys. They remind me a little bit, just because of the black bar, as the Panda Corys, but they look distinctly different. It's got a really nice black lateral line that goes across the top of the body. So those guys are doing really well. But all these fish are going to be going up. There's a few that will be, you know, held back until they're 100%. But you know, like I said, most everything is doing really, really well. So we're starting to release these guys and put them on the website. And then there's one more Cory down here. This is the Corydoras abrosus. This is like a dwarf Cory that stays really small, and these guys are really cool too. I like them because they stay really small, and they're very, very hardy. So they're, you know, that's when you see notes on there like that, will eat anything. That means that they're doing very, very well. So so that's pretty much it with the wild caught. So let me answer some of these. Von Lurker says he's waiting for UPS for his Patrick Eye Mabunas. Man, that's awesome. I'm really excited about those. We've got several new types of Mabunas that we've been working on that are finally ready. So super excited that you guys, you know, are able to order them from us. And you know, I think that's pretty cool that you could be watching a live feed while the UPS man is showing up at any time to deliver your fish. So All right, John Mayberry from Frostproof. He's asking how we made out with the hurricane. So we got a lot of rain. Pond levels did come up quite a bit, but we were actually a little bit dry, and you being in Frostproof probably already, had the same thing where, the rain didn't really hurt us. There's a lot of water still standing, but luckily the wind wasn't too bad, and everything's good. So yeah, no bad effects from that. John Salerno, what's up? See a lot of people on today. Ali Sean's on, Keith, Chevy Fish, what's up? Bear Cichlets is asking, are we using treated lumber for our racks? Yes, we are. I'll flip the screen around. These do not have the lights going yet, but all these tanks are cycled and running, and we're starting to put fish. The other side all have fish, but yes, this is treated lumber, and I've been using treated lumber, my whole life for my fish racks. I definitely recommend it compared to non-treated lumber, because this will hold up. The life of this is going to be way better. Now, the way we've designed these racks is that there will be no water on these racks. So, but that's hard to do in a fish room, especially when you're doing water changes and just moisture and everything else. So, treated lumber is definitely the way to go. It's just the life of it's going to be a lot better. I've got 2 big dehumidifiers in this room to help keep the moisture down. But in my other rooms where I do not have big dehumidifiers, we've had these racks, some of them are going on 10, 15 years, and they're still very strong and sturdy. So biggest thing is you just want to keep the direct water contact off of them. So you can see we've got little tiles underneath each one of the stanchions, the bases. So there will be very little water in direct contact with these 4x4s and with the lumbers. It's just great. We started with the metal racks when we started building racks in here, and we built one prototype on the metal rack, and I do like the metal racks. We put a nice polyurethane coating paint on all of them, but even with that, the wood is going to be much more economical, is what we found out. So we're not worried about the metal. It might last even longer than the wood, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to get many years out of the wood racks. And it was about 1/3 of the cost for us to build them out of wood compared to the metal. So the metal is more expensive, but I think the wood is just fine. See that light's not that bright on that. We're going to have to probably add some more power supplies to get these tanks lit up a little bit more, but at least it's not completely dark, but they're, you can still see the fish good. That's the most important thing. All right, Dragon Lair says those Tiger Severums are hot. They are, man. I'm super excited about finally getting those in. That's been on my list of fish I've wanted for a long time, so it feels good to finally get some of those guys in. So you see all the snails down here. Those guys are doing good. This is mainly like we got some dwarf grummies over here. These guys are doing really well. Super excited about these black ruby barbs. The males on them are just spectacular. You can see some of them crawling up really nice there in the back with nice like dark red and black on the fins. HY 511s are doing really nice. That's always one of the most popular. There's a penguin tetra in there swimming around with them. Silver tip tetras, those guys are really nice. We've been able to add a lot more tetras and community fish that we didn't have the tank space before. So a lot more than just Africans. I know for a while, you know, everybody's like, man, he's like, you know, when are you going to carry more fish besides just the Africans? And, you know, now we're able to bring in, you know, more variety and more types. And these red-headed toppers, every time I walk by them, I'm like, man, that's one of my favorite geos right there. Really nice. These guys are looking spectacular. So let me get back to some of these questions. I know I'm way behind. Denver's asking for any bigger super longfin plecos. It's hard to get them in a bigger size, Denver, and the main reason is that they we do breed some of them. We are working on breeding more of them, but I have a friend of mine that breeds the longfin super reds, and he says they sell so fast when they're like at 1.5 to 2 inch that they never get to grow up to a bigger size, you know. So there's sometimes that he'll grow up a batch for breeders, and he'll have an excess, you know, male selection, so we'll get like some maybe 3-inch males from him, but they're just so popular in the hobby, the not just the longfin super reds, but the normal super reds, that they never really set around long enough to get to that big size, because you're talking about, to get that fish to 3 inches, it's going to take a good part of a year to get to that size. So it's difficult to get bigger on those. Yeah, Blitz Peacock says that's those arrows that size are eating pellets. That's impressive. We were surprised. You know, Sarah texted me the day that they started eating pellets. I'm like, wow, that's really awesome. It is a krill pellet, so it has a real shrimpy smell to it, you know. So I think that's one reason, is the food that we're feeding's got krill in it. So I'm gonna go through some of these comments. Keith Hanshaw saying he saw a big silver arowana in Jinx, Oklahoma aquarium. Yeah, they get huge. They get huge. I got a friend that's got, I think he had like 12 of them, and those things were just massive. So make sure if you're going to get an arowana, you got, you know, adequate tank size, you know. Don Huber from Connecticut's on. Nice. So Ali Sean's asking, do we buy through Project Piaba? No, we do not. I'm familiar with them. I know they do a great job, you know, with the educational part. Maybe some of my suppliers down in South America, you know, are part of that. But I've never bought, you know, from them. Usually I buy just direct from the collectors down there. Dragon Leia said he just got a clown Plico. He's in love with it, trying to get more. Save me some, for sure. I think we've got a good amount of them, but I do know that we're just starting to put them online, so I don't know how fast they'll go. I mean, if it's anything like some of the other fish that, you know, are limited quantities, they seem to go pretty fast, you know. So Kayla Hell said, good day all, finally made it live, going to place an order this weekend. Nice, Kayla. I appreciate the support and appreciate you being on. Yep, Chevy Fish. Checkerboard Cichlid is also another name for those guys. So Tom Burr says he's late, just signing in, but haven't been on live Friday in a while, so happy to catch it. Well, everyone knows it's been a crazy, crazy year. I think everybody can say that they're ready for 2020 to be over with. So we're hoping 2021 is COVID-free, COVID-19 free. I'm hoping, you know, that mankind could overcome nature, you know, if it is nature that created it. We really don't know, but hopefully they come up with a vaccine, and we can start going back to our normal lives, you know. So for some people it's been really good, and for others it's been really bad. I'd say, you know, for us, there has been a lot of you know, sad things that have happened this year, but at the same time, you know, we've had a lot of good things. You know, I know when the kids were home from school, you know, when the schools were closed, we were able to do more family things together because our schedule pretty much was wide open. So I know for the wife and I, Holly, and the two boys, Jackson, and Cole, we've had a really good time this year by being able to do a lot more family things together, and it was nice having the kids home more this year. So I know for others it was more difficult, but for us it was nice because the kids are here at the farm with me, and we're very fortunate that with my job I could have the boys with me, so it was very nice. So right, I'm going to leave the camera on this tank, and then I'm going to answer some more comments. Bearsickler says he's glad he's not the only one with forks in my tank. Yes, we like the forks. That was Sarah's idea for getting the vegetables, because we're feeding a lot of these wild types, herbivores, vegetables, so the forks are a great way to keep those vegetables on the bottom. Hey Joe saying, love your fish, hope to order as soon as I can. Nice. Well, we whenever you're ready, we're ready, so we don't slow down. So and like I said, we got a lot of new stuff, and pretty excited about the future. Brian Jeffries says he ordered a few weeks ago. His fish are doing great. His blue dolphin is amazing. Thank you. Well, we thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're able to join the live feed and give us a shout out. Yeah, Project Piava. I called it Project Arapaima earlier, but that's actually a company down there in Brazil, but Piava. Sydney McCain, hi Mike and family. What's up, Sydney? Greg Van Fleet, what's up? Paul's asking how big do the Royals get? They get big. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my mom brought some in for us, and because I was really big into all the different Plicos when I was small, or when I was younger, and I brought some in. I grew them up to about 12 inches, and man, I probably had them for, I don't know, I would say 8 to 10 years, somewhere along that line. They have a really long lifespan. Unfortunately, whenever I went off to the military, we had a bad freeze one year, and they ended up not making it. So, but as a kid, I was trying to breed those things, and very difficult family of Plicos to breed, though. I never did have success breeding them. But what was cool is I could go out to the pond, and I had some big pieces of driftwood, and I could actually roll a piece of driftwood over, and they would let me catch them and hold them in the water. So I mean, they were like as tame as they could be, and that was in a 30,000 gallon pond. So they're very very good personalities on those guys. Once they trust you, then you could pretty much put your hand in the tank when you're cleaning, and those guys don't go taking off fighting, So, all right, I want to answer a few more. Chevy says he likes the flagtails. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, bear cichlids saying inches. So I'd say that's about right, especially in an aquarium. They're not very fast growers. Joseph Pagan's asking how the golden gar are doing. I feel like bad that I haven't even released the videos on them breeding yet, but it's been kind of a crazy year. But I've got actual GoPro footage and all types of footage of my gold gar male breeding with the females. So yeah, they're doing great. I go out there and check on Goldie, and he's very happy in his environment with the ladies. And as far as the offspring, we ended up moving them out to a grow out pond. We put them in 2 ponds. We divided them up, and I know they're doing good. We don't ever see them hardly. As soon as you drive up to the pond, those guys go down to the bottom. So that is on my list of things to do, is we're going to go out there and pump the pond down and net them up and see. I mean, I personally don't think that we have any gold babies, but the important part is that we captured the genes. So now all the offspring that I have are gold gene carriers. So all I have to do is grow those babies up, and then through selective breeding, we should have gold on the next time we breed them. Which, you know, I'm hoping it doesn't take 2 years. I talked to a few of my fish breeders that I respect, and they're feeling like in ideal growing conditions that they might even be able to be ready to breed this coming spring or summer by the latest. So yeah, Blitz Peacock says you don't see intermediate for sale very often. Yeah, that's one reason I ended up bringing them in, is this is the first time I've ever had them before. I mean, I've had all different types, but this is my first time with the intermediates. So I'm really wanting to grow up some of those guys also for future breeders. So, but you know, it's kind of difficult because these guys are like 2 inches. You know, it's going to take a lot of feeding and growing, and you know, you're looking at least a year to 2 years on those guys to get them up to breeding size. But we might pull back a group and grow them up. So, House of Cichlids, ask how we're doing. We're doing great. It's you know, I couldn't ask for things to be any better, honestly. Everybody's healthy in the family. Everybody here at work's doing very well. So we're doing good. So Chevy's asking if they are true Julie. Yes, they are. They're from the wild. So these are the you know, unless there's something I don't know about. You know, I know these are the true Julies. Sarah says, so cute. They just went on my wish list. Nice. Ali Sean saying, looking for Corey Robinai. So, I mean, we're going to be adding a lot more Corys in the future. I think on the next order, I plan on doing a lot more Corys. So, Jerry Collins is on. What's up, Jerry? Lorenzo says, hi, greetings from Argentina. Lorenzo, I love your country, man. I was lucky enough to go down to Argentina about it might have been longer, I think about 5 years ago. And I collected a lot of fish up in Misioneras, in Resencia, so in the Chaco region. So I really was blown away with just the people and the country. It was just a beautiful, beautiful trip. Great Goose got a breeding group of albino Taiwan reefs. Nice. I really like those albino Taiwan reefs. The males are just... Jack's getting on everybody to hit that like button. So make sure, you know, I don't think YouTube's fixed their difficult way of liking the videos. You got to disable the comment section, and then you could hit the like button. So make sure you hit that like button, though. That tells us that you guys are enjoying, you know, enjoying what we're doing. And my phone keeps blowing up, but it makes us, you know, feel good that, you know, you guys like what you're seeing. And I know it's been a couple weeks since I've been on, so it's nice to show you guys around and show you what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna pause again and then answer a few more comments. Jerry's asking, do we have any snowball Acosta? I'm actually not familiar with that fish. If it's a Plico, if you gave me the L number, I could probably tell you, but right now it's just the ones that I showed you were the new ones that we've got in. But like I said, we're going to be continuing to bring in more and more fish. Yeah, Ali Sean is saying, you know, she loves the matte filters. We do too. The matte filters are spectacular. Stefan Tanner from Swiss Tropicals makes these, and I actually was on the phone with him yesterday, and I placed another big order for it. So we're loving the matte filters. Okay, snowball Plicos. Maybe that was a typo. So we do not have LDA 33s, which I think are the ones that you're referring to. We do have the L201s. So those are called the Inspector Plicos, I think is what they call them. But most of the LDA 33s come from Brazil, so you know, I think when we do bring in a Brazil order, we definitely will be getting some. Um, House of Cichlids is asking if we're open to the public. Not yet. We are allowing pickups, so like every day we're having people come by and pick up their orders to save on shipping. But as of now, we're not allowing people to walk through the facility, and it's mainly because this COVID-19 is, you know, we're wanting to stay as far away from it as we can. So, you know, we do not want to put anybody that works here at risk. So, you know, we're just we're not having you know, appointments right now, you know, for people to purchase fish. But you can order from the website, email us, and set up, you know, to come out and pick up fish. A lot of customers that are in Florida are driving up here from Miami, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and they're picking up their orders, you know. So Chevy's asking about white neon tetras. I'm actually not even familiar with that. Is that I know there's a gold neon tetra, and I don't know if we still have them. I know we had some, and I think we sold them all already. But and that gold neon has a lot of white on it. So, hey, Drayden, do we have any gold neon tetras left, or?
There's a small amount over here.
So.
Here?
Oh yeah,
there's like 10 or 15.
Yeah. All right, we do have a few of them in there. It's kind of hard to see them.
We got a lot of schooling fish this week.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just saying we've really boosted up our selection on schooling fish. So I don't know if this is the one you're talking about, but this is the one they called a gold neon tetra, and it's got a lot of white in it. So some penguin tetras. I'm gonna keep the camera on this tank while I'm answering some of the questions. Grey Goose is asking for some buccochromas. We are going to be adding a lot more predator haps to our list. So you know, just keep a lookout. I know we got the Rhodesii breeding, and those guys are doing really well. George Nixdorf says made it today late. Oh, Jack's asking about Black Friday. Okay, so we will not know exactly what is going to be on Black Friday probably until the week of Black Friday, because we're still you know, waiting to see exactly what we could do. But I do know you can expect a huge Black Friday sale from us. If you guys have been following us for the last couple of years, we don't do a lot of sales throughout the year. It's just you know, it takes so much work to be able to breed fish and ship fish and do a quality job that it's not been, you know, having all types of big sales throughout the year really wasn't our thing. We were just more focused on quality and making sure we were doing a good job. But every year for Black Friday, it's always a big deal for us. So we've got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be swinging out there on Black Friday. So but we won't know what fish they are until it's actually Black Friday. So but just know you can expect a lot of new stuff and big specials that, you know, are only offered once a year. Mark B said you just got an Eureka Red and Yellow Blaze from us yesterday. Shipping was super quick. Fish pulled by 9 a.m. after a night order. Is the speed due to the new warehouse setup? Yes, it is a lot easier because all these fish are in quarantine here. It is a lot easier for us to process orders a lot faster. Now, know that coming up with Black Friday, the speed's not going to be the same, all right? And it really depends on, you know, when you place your order and what orders we have ahead of you. So, but yes, the warehouse is making it much easier for us to process orders. Ahmad says he's getting off work. We'll have to rewatch it. Take care. Thank you, Ahmad. Appreciate it. Zen Ginger, Chili Man. Gabriel saying, how do you feel? I feel good, Gabriel. It feels good. This has been a dream of mine for many, many years. So it is just, you know, a euphoric feeling to build. I mean, you wouldn't believe how like overwhelming this business could be. In fact, I had to put on the blinders and just focus on the goal to get this done. I know I've been a difficult person to reach directly for a long time, and it's mainly because I've been really just overwhelmed with the amount of people and traffic. So that's why it's nice to be able to come on here Friday and talk to everybody, you know. So yeah, Ali Sean's talking about the vaccine with Pfizer. That's going to be nice. I hope it's the real deal, and I hope it's works. So Alexis saying you give awesome tours and explaining very well. Thank you. Having my cichlids are definitely my hobby. My husband says they get better attention and care. Yep, that is a problem in the hobby, is that, you know, it's just a great escape from reality sometimes. I say sometimes, all the time, you know. No matter how crazy the world is out there, it's just very peaceful and relaxing to sit in front of the fish tank and take care of them. So the best thing is to get your husband involved in fish keeping. You know, a lot of couples that have that issue, you know, let the spouse pick out what type of fish they want, and they set up a tank just for them, and then they get them hooked, and then it makes it much easier. So KG Cichlids. Hello, KG. Ali Shaw saying, I believe that the blue eyes plecos are very temp sensitive. Wholesale will lose a whole box if they caught it chill. Yes, they do like hot temperatures. All fish pretty much from South America like hot temperatures. I would say there's a few exceptions, but very few. And when I say they don't like extreme heat, they still like it at 80, you know. Sean, I showed a few Africans. Mainly I showed off the Colombians. You know, maybe I actually won't be going live next Friday because I'm going to be gone, but you know, we'll show them on the next go round. So maybe leading up to Black Friday. So Sean Ellison's asking, are Starry Nights cichlids available? Saw some in a customer's tanks. They're so pretty. Yes, we do have some Starry Nights available. The juveniles are not showing, you know, color yet, which is normal, but we do have some big guys that are actually, if they're not already up, they're going to be going up really soon. So, and these guys are big, and they're a little bit shy still because they just went in the tank, but those guys are showing really good color. So all right, I'm gonna try to go through these. Bear's asking if we have one blower that runs the whole warehouse. Yes, we do. We have a really big blower out back of the warehouse that runs all the air to the building. So having a central air pump is key. I want everybody to say hello to my niece, Anna. So she's actually going to be my fishing buddy because she's been hooked on bass fishing lately.
Yeah, I sure am.
So she actually came by to get some fish today. So she's, her and her dad are setting up a, they got rid of their African cichlids, which is what they've had for probably the last 8 years. And I got them setting up a rainbow tank. So male Lymphothrops. Yes, I don't know that we have enough males to do just males. I know Drayden was putting up pairs of them, but if you don't see them on the website, you can email Drayden and he might be able to break off some males to you. But a lot of times when we get, you know, some species that we do not have like a lot of extra males on, we've been just offering pairs on them. And really they do better with a female in the tank. So you'll see a lot better coloration. The Lymphothrops are very timid fish, and in my opinion, they do a lot better when there's a female in the tank with them. So the Maloto Gold Crest, really like these guys. But you can email us if you don't see them on the website, and Drayden could probably answer that question for you. There's some Albus right there, and as you can see, there's not a lot of males in the tank. There's a few of them, but even in this setup, they're not even showing that great a color, which they probably just went in there recently. Some yellow labs about to get released in the tank. Some sulfur-head peacocks. So, Vinny saying my cichlids had babies and they're blue and gold and with black stripes. I'm pretty sure they weren't supposed to mate together. It happens if you got, a tank with several types of Mabunos or several types of peacocks. You will create hybrids, the biggest thing is just, they still are beautiful fish. In fact, there's a lot of fish that we breed here at Imperial that, are lines that are stabilized that are hybrids, I prefer lines that are, a direct relation to the wild, but I have no problem with hybrids, as long as they're identified as that. And, these fish are not going to be taken back to Lake Malawi and released. So I think the wild population is perfectly safe. So what we do in our personal tanks is up to us for our enjoyment. But yeah, chances are you've got some, I don't know if it's Mabunas or peacocks or haps, but chances are they hybridize. A lot of your fish keepers will do breeding groups of, each fish, so they don't mix, two types that are very similar, especially if there's a potential for them to breed, but as you can see, a lot of these fish are, there's a hap. It looks like some big fryer eye, and there's also some OB Borley eyes in this tank. But again, this is not a breeding tank, so we're not too worried about hybridization. But when we breed these fish, they are just one species per tank. Ali Sean is saying Manaus and Belém are opening up for shipments more readily, working with a group of 135. I love the 135s. In fact, all the Picoltia types are really nice, but the worm line is a really rare fish that I'm super excited that these guys are getting back into the hobby, because for years that fish was very difficult to find. And I think with the education that we have with breeding all those L numbers now, I think you're going to see 135s being tank raised in the future. Now the Picoltias are much more difficult to breed than the Hypensistrius, but like I said, with the new information with diet and water conditions and everything that goes into it, I think we have a much higher rate. I know the worm lines have been bred before, so now that there's going to be more of them available, I'm excited about those guys. That would definitely be one of my target fish for the future. All right, guys, I'm having a hard time getting through all these comments, so I'm gonna go in here. We're going to announce the winner, and I'm gonna try to answer some of these comments as I go. So hopefully Drayden's close by. Let's go in here and see. No, he is not. But I will ask Sarah to text him. I think he was just in here a few minutes ago, ready for me to announce the winner. But I know he's got it all pulled up on the website. So we're going to announce the winner, and then we'll also tag the winners in the post. Sarah, do you mind finding Drayden for me? We're going to announce the winners for the giveaway. I don't know if he's got his phone on him or... All right, she's going to find Drayden. I'm going to answer some more of these questions. Lynn says her husband says her fish are much quieter than her parrots. Yeah, but I like the parrots. They, that's one thing. When I was younger, my parents were into bird keeping and breeding. So I'm going to come over here and have a seat. Thank you, Teresa. Have a good weekend. right, guys. I'm gonna answer some of these. Oh, is he? Okay. Thank you. Kayla says she loves all the videos of all the fish, and now that they're in the warehouse, so we can have an idea of what will show up at our doorsteps, especially peacocks. Yes, that has always been a problem for me, is that it's very difficult, you know, when people say, hey, can you send me a picture of, you know, this fish? And it's not that easy for us to go into those greenhouses and net them up and show you what, you know, they look like. So I mean, we always take pictures of the actual strain that we sell, but typically the pictures are an adult male, an adult female. So, you know, it kind of raises the expectations on what they look like when you actually receive them. But like, you know, I could show you, you know, red top Lawandas, the blue morai. You know, it's just a lot easier now for me to show you guys, especially on the live feed, you know, what the actual fish will look like. Fire Ugandas, you know, it's just, yeah, I love it. So, Gary Robinson, hello everyone. Gary Robinson says, so my little brother Martin won the 14,000 Fill My Cat Aquarium contest earlier this week. I don't know what the cat aquarium contest was, but when you say 14,000, that sounds like a pretty big prize. So that's pretty awesome, man. If you're not on our Facebook group, join it and post up details about that. I don't know what the cat aquarium is, but that's pretty awesome. So also, while we're waiting on Drayden, did you get a hold of him? Okay, he's got it set up already. So if you guys don't know already, we do have a Facebook group that you guys could join, and it's just a community group that is just really, really awesome. We really are enjoying the group and the fact that people can show off their fish pictures, videos of their fish. All right, so this is a random, pick a random winner. So he said he has it all set up. Let's see, I'm going to hit start, and this is for a $25 gift card. All right, Rebecca Burdett, I know that name very well. Congratulations, Rebecca. So you can email us and we will send out a promo code for $25. Congratulations, Rebecca. All right, we still got one more winner to pick. I'm writing this down as we do it so they know who the winners are. All right, we're going to pick the second winner. All right, let's do this. Sorry, a little shaky with the camera. Jeff Salemai. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but congratulations, Jeff. You're the second winner for the $25 promo code. So, guys, girls, just email us and we will send you that promo code. But congratulations to the winners. So, these are some photographs that Drayden's been working on. And super excited. He's gotten really, really good with this photography. So it's, I like it. I like those Labotrovius Travasse red streak mandas, some Mason Reef. So, all right, guys, I'm going to fly through these comments real quick, and we're gonna wrap this thing up because wow, we went over an hour this time. Joseph Pagan's asking about frontosas. I don't think we have any frontosas available right now. We were looking at bringing some in from a breeder in Europe. But the problem is the freight is so expensive. Like even on these wild caught, the freight is outrageous. But now that we have the warehouse, we are going to be bringing in more frontosa types, some MOBAs and other frontosas that you typically don't see, and we're going to be setting up some big tanks to breed them in. So, but that's a future project that we're not ready for quite yet. So, Vinny says, thanks, Mike, and all my fish came from Imperial. So happy. Man, I love that. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate that, man. You know, we've been doing this a long time, and for the last 7 years that we've been direct shipping to our customers, it's such a good feeling to get that feedback, because when it's not that all the wholesale business is this way, but a big part of it, you send out like spectacular fish and you don't get any feedback, and you wonder what kind of care those fish received along the way, because a lot of times it's inadequate care from the wholesaler all the way to the store, not having a proper filtration setup, water parameters, diet, everything. So it feels really good to be able to get these fish straight to you guys' tanks. Wow, I think I am way behind on messages. We'll see. Vinny's asking, do I have a Reddit group? No. I'll be honest with you, I shy away from social media. I'm so busy that when you start opening up a conversation online, it just takes me away from everything. So I do go on Reddit sometimes for researching stuff, so I do like Reddit, but you won't see me posting very much on social media. All right, so I guess I'm not too far behind. Everybody's saying congratulations. Okay. Well, Brian Jeffries is the last comment, so I'm gonna wrap it up. He's saying, I would love to roam around that warehouse for an entire afternoon. It's going to happen. So as soon as things are looking better with this COVID-19, we are going to start having people back over, and we're going to have some get-togethers. I know that's one thing that we had talked about in the Facebook group, is that we're going to have like a grand opening. Well, obviously COVID-19 and everything else has made that not happen, but we still have a lot to do. I mean, just to flip this camera around and show you what we have left to do is each one of these drains that you see here are where more rows are going. So rows just like what you see up there, we've got room for 4 more. Right now I've got, let's see, 2.5 rows going. So I've got 4.5 rows left to do. So we're not even like a third of our tanks aren't even here ready. I'm still waiting on filters for these tanks, and then I've got another tank order for the top row, and then I'll have enough tanks to do 2 more rows. So this is going to be a long time coming. So, you know, I know we're not allowed to have people here yet, but I think by the time we are starting to do tours and have a grand opening, we're going to have a lot more fish to look at. So definitely something that would take, you know, several hours to go through and look at all the fish, you know. So you know, it's like an ongoing construction project around here, but the nice thing is that we're up and operating out of it, and everything is going really, really smooth. So so super excited. So be watching out for announcements for Black Friday. We're going to be doing some big things, you know, in the next couple weeks. So if you got any questions, send us an email. And again, I appreciate people taking the time out today to look at our operation. So thank you, and you know, everybody stay safe and have a good weekend. And we're going to talk at you, if not next Friday, the following Friday. So thanks everyone. Be safe.